Hello, everyone. It's nice to be here once again. My name is Damilare Mike David, and I'm also known as Mr. Regen. And today we are going to be having a very beautiful day. It's gonna be a swell time. I can assure us. Kindly let me know if the volume of the background music is quite loud. Um, it's just to give a little flavor to what we are doing right now. So I will be going through our comment sessions in case there's anything you want to draw my attention to. And today I want you to know that this is a live stream. This is not pre-recorded, so you can throw in your questions. Basically, this teaching was meant for the married people in our group, the people who belong to the Sex Uncovered for Mr&Mrs. the group. But along the line, based on requests, we decided to let's leave it open. The only thing we're going to do is just we are going to put a disclaimer and let people know that this teaching is strictly meant for people who are married. So if you're not married and you are here, I think it's high time you left. I'm not trying to push you away, but it's just we're just trying to make things right. Yeah, we know we are in a world where everybody already knows about sex. Somehow you will find out in school, but from your friends on the internet. Yeah, but at the same time, we're just trying to make things right. We can't be perfectly careful or putting security measures in place, but at the same time we just want to let you know that this meeting is meant for people who are married, and that's it. So today it's gonna be beautiful, and if you have someone who is married as well, who you think this teaching is gonna help, this, if you look at the topic, it may sound somehow to some people. It's one of those who get topics that people will not talk about, and that's was the essence for having sex uncovered group for Mr&Mrs, where we can talk about marital sexuality as well as it is. People want to talk. People are going through a lot in their marriages, and our environment, religion is really making it difficult for people to be able to express themselves without prejudice. It's becoming almost difficult, and we thank God for Sex Uncovered from Mr&Mrs. It has been mending a lot of marriages in that aspect, and that's what we really have thought about where God was laying it on our heart. Yes, it was God, because anything that will work towards making a marriage work, it's God's invention. Now, without wasting our time, we'll be going to today's duty, and there's something I want to do before I start with today's teaching. For this month of November, in our group for the married, we are having a challenge for the month of November, and it's called Sex Challenge, whereby couples will be being challenged to be sexually intimate every other day throughout the month of November. We're not just trying to create something that does not make sense. No, it's based on statistics. When we sampled all the questions we've gotten, and we found that one of the major reasons couples are far apart is because they've lost their sexual intimacy, and it's not because everybody was trying to be intentional about being selfish to the other partner. No, many people are just consumed with their jobs, people that are far away, and we've been getting a lot of testimonies, we've been getting a lot of questions. It has given a lot of couples opportunity to talk about things that really disturb them in their marriages, and as we are having those issues brought to our table, we take them back to the group anonymously, then we discuss, we give pieces of advice. And this last one, which was brought to my attention yesterday, I've gotten something about it severally, and which I've tried to advise the persons who were involved. But this time around, because it was close to this teaching, I said, okay, fine, I'm going to bring it up here and I'll be able to use the opportunity to talk about it so that every other person in this show will be able to learn from it. And the problem, if I won't be able to read the whole story as what's sent to me, and probably the person who is concerned is watching right now. It's about a woman who has been not been enjoying sex with her husband for a very long time. They've been married for years, and she doesn't enjoy sex. It's much about pain, and it's given the husband concern. Yeah, serious concern. So, and when we discussed, we were able to, find out that the culprit, we went through a lot of dialogue, and we were able to find out that she was circumcised, and this is something that has been coming up severally. So if I'm in that shoe, I just want you to listen. I know a lot of people, intelligent people in the uncovered group for Mr. and Mrs. have brought up a lot of words, a lot of intelligent words. People that are being physical, factual, spiritual about this issue, and because of that, I don't want to go around those again. I just want to be practical about it. So if you're listening right now, I know that it is a much of it's a kind of pain, but I want you to know that it is not impossible for you to enjoy sex, even if you have been circumcised. Yeah, we understand that it's a major challenge because most people who are circumcised, that ladies, women, it depends on the degree of the circumcision. Most of the time, the clitoris is being chopped off, and the clitoris is one of the most sensitive sexual organ in the part of a woman's body. And just as when a man is aroused, maybe let's say he sees his wife naked through the eyes, and the eyes carry the information to the brain, and the brain interprets it and sends the signal in form of blood into the penis. That's when a man has erection. The end result of the feeling, a sexual feeling for a man, is in the penis. That's when he has an erection. And it's because of that simple process, it affects the whole system of the man. The same way it happens to a woman. When a woman is in a situation whereby she is sexually aroused, most of the time the information is sent down there, especially into the clitoris. It's just rare in a few women. So when a woman has that part of her body circumcised, she loses the sensation in that part of the body. And most of the time when it comes to penetration sex, and sexual excitement is at its peak in the clitoris for most women. But that does not mean that that's the only part of the body where a woman can be sexually aroused. So I'm just trying to explain this to let us know why this may be a big issue for many women going through this. Even during penetration sex, most times many women they feel they experience the height of the sexual enjoyment in the clitoris, but you may not know. You may think it's in the vagina because the penis is in there, but most times there's a friction going in between the scrotum and the clitoris. As the man thrusts in and out, other parts of the body is rubbing against the clitoris, which makes it enjoyable for the woman. But many women can know that they can easily distinguish pleasures coming from the vagina itself and the ones coming from the clitoris. So having said that, I would like to advise you that I want you to know that sexual enjoyment starts from the mind. It starts from even when you start making love. So you go into the main thing. So that it doesn't start from the penetration. It starts from your mind, from when you know that you're going to have sex. So it's the way you condition your mind that the information you put up in your mind those informations are carried into the brain, and the brain start interpreting it and start distributing those information to every part of your body that is responsible for sexual excitement. If you're a kind of person that really experience excitement in the breast, it goes there. Into your thigh, it goes there. Yeah, but because most times we've conditioned our mind that it has to be here, it has to be in this particular part of the body. That's why we restrict our brain. We have the ability to condition our brain and make it do what we want it to do. So it starts from the mind. You understand? And one of the problems that we were able to discover from what you have told us is the issue of porn, which was not your fault. Your husband also too was trying to help you because it was difficult to get you aroused, and it seemed as if the only thing that could arouse you was when you were watching porn. But eventually you would get tired, and because porn is not real, porn is just an imagery. It makes things that are difficult look like they're simple. Pornography, people that act pornography are acting movies. So pornography is scripted. They've been instructed that this is what you do at this time, and you can see them having sex for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours as they go. It's not really most cases, because it either people involved in this are either they under the influence of alcohol, stimulant, which we are not advised to put into our own sexual life, because medically it's not safe. And if somebody is having sex for like 1 hour, 2 hours, you wouldn't know that there are pauses in between. When they have sex for like 20 minutes, they pause, they rest, they take something to make them energized again, they continue. But all those things would have been edited away. But someone will be saying, they can go 1 hour at a stretch, and you want to aim at that. So pornography puts pressure on you, and it's not real. Most people, many of them are under influence of alcohol, drugs, so which you would not want to do. And number two, it changes the order of your body makeup. Instead of your affection to be towards your husband, it will be towards the personality or the act in that movie, which means without watching porn, you won't be able to be sexually ready. You won't be sexually ready. You need to watch people making love. For how long do you want to continue to do that? And it means you have to you need to be deriving pleasure in another person who is acting that movie other than your partner, which is a kind of emotional infidelity on its own. So you should try to stay away from using pornography to stimulate yourself, and you eventually find out that your body will get used to it. And once your body gets used to it, even you will not, at a point you won't be aroused again. So you start looking for another thing that you can use to sexually satisfy yourself, which is the major problem that comes with pornography. But with your situation, what can you do? I would advise you that you should take note of other erogenous spots in your body. What does erogenous spots mean? It means other places in your body that when somebody touches, especially opposite sex, when your husband touches, places that you feel tickled, places that can make you to feel sexually informed, like you become sexually alert. It can be your thigh, it can be your neck, it can be your earlobe, it can be the nipple. So you need to discover those places. So when you discover those places, try to put your husband into the shoe of being patient. Your husband needs to go into more foreplay and capitalize on those places. Do you understand? When you discover other places that can excite you other than the clitoris, spend more time on those places. If it is the breast, let him suck the breast, let him play with the breast, the nipple, With that, your body will also be prepared. It is because you are putting your attention on a particular spot which is not readily available as much as it should. That's why you are being disappointed, and your husband is also being disappointed. So capitalize on those places. And I've also said that your husband too need to realize that it is a challenge that is facing both of you, not just you. And so one of the ways to overcome that for you is to be patient with you, and he should try to engage in more foreplay. As he engages in more foreplay, you will realize that you will get wet, you will get ready gradually, and it's gonna help you. And for you, on the other hand, realize that yeah, it was not your fault that you were circumcised, but at the same time you realize that it's coming from your body, so that will inform you to be a bit sacrificial. So if you feel you're not enjoying you're not really enjoying penetration, but for the sake of your husband, just enjoy it. Just let him have his way. Not sacrifice, not because you want to put yourself on the limelight. I'm looking for a way to balance this up in a way that it can help both of you. Now, I know it's much of a challenge this time around, because you may be feeling pain most of the time. But if you can do those few things I mentioned, your body would be prepared. 1, 2, you don't need to spend a lot of time in vaginal penetration. You don't need to spend a lot of time on vaginal penetration. So what you can do is that improvise. Like sometimes, just the same way we advise women that are pregnant, you can, if for example, if you're someone that God has blessed massively with the breast, you are busty, you can lubricate your breasts, put let's say oil that are not ash, oil that are meant for sexual intimacy, or water-based lubricant. Put them in between your cleavage, bring your breasts together. The man can have his way there too. What's the most important thing is for him to have that friction, that feeling. So when he feels he's getting close to ejaculation, he can now switch into the vagina. Yes, I know for some men there is this feeling that comes to being in that vagina, ejaculating into the vagina. So that's why instead of him losing totally, of not being able to having a penetrative sex, and instead of you having to go through pain in your vagina for a long time, let him spend more time either within, maybe let's say between your cleavage. Make sure that it is lubricated. You can even use it between your thighs, and when it's close, let's say 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes close to ejaculation, let him now switch into the vagina. By that time, both of you will be beautiful, you'll be okay, you understand. So these are the things that you can actually do. It's not the end of the world, but you can still enjoy your life even while you are experiencing that cannot come back. But those are little things you can do. Then you can try to see your medical practitioner who can recommend drugs for you. I cannot recommend drugs for you because I'm not a medical practitioner. I don't know which one is safe. So you can see maybe your gynecologist, or who can talk to you or advise you from the medical perspective, and things that can prepare you. It can even be fruit or food therapy, and before you know it, you'll be fine. So I think I've been able to do little justice to that. If you still have any concern, you can send me a private chat or send message into the group. And I pray that you and your husband will continue to enjoy your marriage in Jesus' name. Amen. So now we are going to the main topic for today. Now, today we are going to be talking about this topic, and it's one of my topic that people have really engaged in the Sex Uncovered group. This kind of teachings, it is very rare for you to see them, for you to see us post them online, because They're very sensitive, if not because of demand, and people really want practical example or demonstrations, and we wouldn't have brought it to this channel. But because despite we are relationship and marriage counselors, we the marriage aspect of our ministry deals with everything that makes a marriage work, which means we also look at every area where everything that challenges a marriage, either finance, money, that's sexual intimacy, friendship in marriage, whatever. That's why even here where we are in this land in Canada, we have been thinking of how to help marriages at the point we think of, okay, maybe we connect people that are just coming into Canada with people that can help them settle, people that can help you to get a place to stay, people that can pick you up from the airport, and not just because we want to be forming generous. No, even in our group, we used to celebrate couples. We have something we call hot seat, whereby we interview a couple, and we ask them very personal, private questions, and even general questions, even if it entails us to even create an atmosphere. Tell them to go to eatery, tell them to watch movie, tell them to go to an hotel to have nice time together. It depends on what the outcome. All the questions we ask are probing questions to really have an idea of what's going on in their marriage. And once we're able to determine, oh, this is a major problem in this marriage, we look for a way to support. And thank God is helping us. Not that we have any government organization funding us, but just because the assignment God has committed to our hand, we are using both the physical, the spiritual, the sexual to ensure that marriages give glory to God. And one of the things that we have found out over the time is this issue of orgasm in marriage for female. And it's because a lot of people have really misinterpreted what sexual intimacy should be in marriage. Sexual intimacy is something that God made. That's why sex is not a sin. God made it. Sex is holy. Sex is not unholy. No. Let us get this mindset out of our head. God made sex. But what makes sex unholy is when you go against the information, the dictates, the manual of God against sex. And what are the major things? Number one, when are you having sex? Are you having sex premaritally when you are not married? That's the problem. Are you having sex outside your marriage, even when you're married and you're having sex with someone else? That's extramaritally. That is the when sex becomes unholy or it becomes a sin. The when you're having sex before you're married, according to the word of God. You have a lot of definitions, but as far as the word of God that I read is concerned, having sex before marriage, having sex outside marriage wedlock is a sin. Now, after those two things, when of marriage is not a sin. The rest is left to how much the man and the woman have come to a conclusion. When do you want to have sex? I'm fasting. Okay, I'm fasting. Okay, do I need to wait? Do I need to wait till I finish fasting, or can I stop my fasting in between? That is absolutely your decision. Now, then number two is with whom. With whom? That is the situation under which marriage, sex can also become either holy or unholy. The Bible says that marriage is honorable in all, bed undefiled, because whoremongers or adulterers, God will judge. So if you are having sexual intimacy with someone that is not your partner, that is not your husband, that is not your wife, that is when it becomes a sin. Now, apart from this, every other thing is defined by both of you. Just ensure that one person is not being impacted negatively. Selfishness does not come in. And one of the things responsible for this kind of teaching is selfishness. Number one, selfishness. When someone feels that he or she should be the only person to enjoy sex. Oh, it is the duty of a woman to give sex. It is the responsibility of a man to enjoy sex. That is a vague, wrong mindset. And when a man starts having this kind of idea, that is when a man is not concerned if his wife enjoys sex or not. Most men, once they reach their own ejaculation, in 1 minute, 5 minutes, whatever, they just roll off and they sleep off and they start snoring, leaving the woman in limbo. The woman is not satisfied. She does not even know that anything is happening. But many men still believe that. What are women looking for? We are both sexual beings. If a woman doesn't need sex, God wouldn't have made sexual organs in her body. Maybe God would have just created organs for procreation. So, if a man must reach a level of orgasm in sexual intimacy in marriage, then a woman should also reach that same level, which is something that a lot of us are not putting into consideration. And for that reason, we're going to start with this. Female orgasm is as extremely important as males, because this is the highest point of sexual enjoyment. It may come with ejaculation, like in men. In a man's case, whereby a man will ejaculate semen, sperm, but it may and may not come with ejaculation in women. So, for a woman to experience orgasm, some women will produce some fluids. Maybe some people call it they will squirt or something, and some women will not even produce anything. But the body language, the reaction will let you know. Just the same way a man would also feel a strange, reaction. We show a kind of strange reaction when he's about to reach the peak of his enjoyment. It happens for a woman same way. So, as important as orgasm is for a man, the same way it is important for a woman. So, from today, every husband out here listening to this video, you should have it at the back of your mind that if I must get to orgasm, my wife too should get to orgasm. The only situation whereby a woman or a man should not get to orgasm is if it's a decision or if it is your decision. Okay, I'm okay, yeah, I don't think I want to ejaculate. I'm okay, yeah, I don't think I want to get to orgasm. Do we understand that? Now, the major difference is that a female can reach orgasm multiple times during a round of lovemaking, unlike men, who may need to go through the refractory period to be ready for another orgasm via ejaculation. Yeah, when a man, except for a few, maybe depending on age, most men, when a man reaches ejaculation, when he ejaculates rather, when he reaches orgasm, most times that's the end for that moment. A man may need to stay for some time again, That's what we call refractory period. The period it will take for a man to build up another, erection and even semen that is going to ejaculate in the next round of sex. That is what is called refractory period. And the time differs from man to man, depending on your lifestyle, depending on your age, But for women, a woman can reach orgasm multiple times, even during one round of sex, even in 10 minutes round of sex, depending on how the man handles her, depending on how she participates, and depending on the makeup of her body. Some women, they ejaculate or they reach orgasm faster than the other. Going to the next slide. Unfortunately, just a few women have experienced this a few times. Some have never had one. This makes this sexual intimacy process feels unfair, as a man sure gets one at every ejaculation. And this is the reason why we are having this teaching, because most men will ejaculate, they will reach orgasm, but most women don't, and it makes sexual intimacy in marriage unfair. It's favoring one sexual gender than the other. You understand? And it will be a surprise that a woman who has been married for 5 years, 10 years, has never even experienced one orgasm, does not even know what orgasm is all about. And it has even, you know, it has changed the mindset of many women too, and they believe that, well, God has created me to just be dashing out sex from this for this man to just make him feel good. So women see sex as responsibility in marriage to make their husband happy. No, sex in marriage is meant to make both of us happy, make both of us sexually satisfied. And I believe that at the end of this teaching, many of us will start experiencing orgasm as women. Little wonder many women don't want to get involved in sex, since it feels like they are only giving and nothing is coming for them. So many women are not really interested, especially for people who feel, pain throughout the whole sexual intimacy. Do you know that sometimes it's even better for the woman to even reach orgasm first, because orgasm sometimes can make some women very wet. When that woman now reaches orgasm, you can now try to penetrate, because she's ready. Ejaculation speaks to all the hormones, sexual hormones in our body, that okay, they are calling us, let us go and support our person. Our person is your wife. So, and if your wife is wet, and even when you go in there, you feel the difference, because it cuts down the pleasure, the pressure, it cuts down the friction, and everything goes on smoothly. And if your wife is always giving excuses, does not want to give sex to you, most of the reasons can be traced to the fact that she is not enjoying it, or she feels cheated. So female orgasm is as important for both men and women. Yet the fault of not having one could lie in the hands of the man, the woman, and both. So if you are a woman here and you've never experienced orgasm and you want it, now you could also be responsible for why you've never experienced it. Your husband could be responsible, and both of you could be responsible, and we'll be looking at those things in a jiffy. And we're not just trying to analyze, okay, this is how female orgasm should be. We're going to look at how can you help yourself, how can you help your wife, how can you help your husband to help you get to that level. The female orgasm, is also important for the man. It's not only for the woman. No, don't think that it is for the woman alone. When a woman reaches orgasm, it helps the ego of a man. It makes a man feel like, oh, I'm man enough. Well, a man who is selfish will not think about this, because it's all about him. Let me just ejaculate and sleep. Let me just ejaculate and find my way, But for a man who is concerned about how his wife is satisfied, when your wife reaches orgasm, it makes you feel like a man, that you're able to take care of your wife. Taking care of your wife is not all about giving her pocket money. No, it's part of it. Providing for her financially, being there for her, being the man figure, being able to protect her. But being able to satisfy your woman is also one of the attributes of a man, of a husband. So when your woman gets to that level and you are seeing all the look on her face, the body language, you become happy. If truly you love your wife and everything that makes your wife happy is important to you. It also makes a woman sexually satisfied, and it will also be medicinal by curing headache, body pain. It even aids night and sound sleep. Sometimes if a woman is finding it difficult to sleep, once that woman reaches orgasm like this, just give her some time. In fact, she can oversleep. And it helps for a man too. It's something that I've experienced, that if I'm finding it difficult to sleep, maybe something happened, my wife, when she knows that the next thing she needs to give to me, if she has tried every other thing, after we have talked, given me food, prayed, and it seems like it's not working, she knows the next thing to give, because all my system will just go back to factory reset. And the next thing is that because I'll become so tired and weak, and the only thing my body will be beckoning for is what? Just sleep, just relax. The same way it happens to a woman that has just finished experiencing orgasm. It resets her body. She will sleep well. It can even take headache away. Yeah, there are some orgasm that trigger headache too, but not headache that you now need to take paracetamol. No, especially if it's been a long time you had one orgasm, or if you are having orgasm for the first time, or let's say after your postpartum, maybe you just finished giving birth and you're having sex after some time, like you waited for like 30 days, 40 days to heal up. Your first orgasm can also trigger headache, but not headache that can kill somebody, not headache that requires paracetamol. It will go on its own. But aside those, orgasm is therapeutic on its own. It can make you sleep well like a baby. And so, as a husband, if you are saying this and your wife has never had orgasm, thanks to you, you are depriving her of so many things. So let me briefly list ways you can achieve orgasm as a woman, and how you can help as a man. I developed this PowerPoint for our chat, so that's why I said it won't be explicit here, but I'll try to be explicit as much as God gives me the courage, the liver. But that was why I said, okay, you can go to YouTube and look for the video, because this was a teaching I made in our group some times ago, and now I'm bringing it here. So you can look at that link right there to just subscribe to this page, to our channel, because there are a lot of resources we bring up weekly about relationship, marriage. My wife and I, God helps us to do some videos, do some write-ups. So now let's go into the main business. How? Preparing for orgasm. Now, I will be talking from the man's perspective, and I'll be talking from the woman's perspective. For the woman, love making starts in the mind, then in her head. I think I mentioned this when I was counseling the woman that has an issue with enjoying sex, which was as a result of female circumcision. I said, for you to enjoy sex, it starts in your brain. It starts in the head. The processing starts in the head. Yes, it can start from your ear, your eyes. Maybe you saw your wife, your husband naked. Your husband tells you something and triggers you to want to make love. Now, those ones are just sensory part of the body. The eyes, the mouth, the ear. They can see, they can hear. And once they get this information, they take the information back to the brain. It is the brain that now prepares your mind. The brain now, okay, what kind of information is this? Oh, your husband is trying to seduce you. Your husband is trying to tease you. Your husband wants to make love to you. It is your brain that processes that information. So it now thinks, okay, what part of the body needs this information? Breast, clitoris, vagina, not hand, So it sends the right electric signal, which is information, into the right part. If it is the man, it sends it down into the penis by pumping blood into the penis, and before you know it, you are just teasing your man. You just touched him, or because you are undressing in front of your man, you just walked in from the bedroom, or you shake your bum small in front of your husband, and you look away. Before you look back in another 1 minute's time, you see that Mr. John Thomas has raised his head up. Now, because his eyes carry the information to the brain, and the brain sends the information to the right part of the body. So because of this, as a woman, if you know you want to enjoy sex and you want to experience orgasm, avoid stress. Stress will not make you reach orgasm in most cases. Like when I was in Nigeria, that we had to take bike, all those kind of things, it was very challenging. That even as a man, by the time you get home like this, even your penis will not be erected, because the total part of your body, the total control of your body is down. And that's the same way it works for a woman. Even if you are interested, unless you just want to endure, but mind you, it won't be at the best of it. That as a woman, try as much as possible to avoid stress or minimize stress. Love making cannot be separated from the body and brain. Sorry for that type of error. It cannot be separated from the body and brain. The body is the instrument. The body organs are the terminals or ports that carry information to the brain. Then the brain triggers various hormones that initiate excitement, pumps blood to the penis, etc. So if these terminals are weak or inactive, information cannot reach the brain and sex becomes a hard work, which is what I just finished explaining from the previous slide. So, and we've been able to say, as the woman, you need to try as much as possible to avoid or minimize stress. Now, as the man, what should you do? Reduce our stress level. The woman should avoid stress or reduce it. But you too, as a man, can lessen our stress level before making love to her. You want your wife to give you the best sex. You're always complaining. She's always lying down like a log of wood. She will lie down because she's tired. She has gone to work just like you. She will come home. Before she left home in the morning, she woke up very early in the morning by 5 a.m. to cook the food that you're going to take to work. She's the one bathing the children, prepare the children for school. Now, she goes to work. She experiences all those stress in the place of work or maybe in a marketplace. Now, she enters traffic coming back home. When she gets home, she goes to take the children from daycare, washes their clothes, makes food for them, and even makes food for you. She's worn out. Now, you are just coming back from office. Maybe the only stress level you experienced was in the office. So you are still a bit strong. After all these things that this woman has done, you still want to sleep with her. She cannot give you the best. Even if she doesn't give you sex, it is understandable. But because she doesn't want to deny you, her body, she still goes ahead. But don't ever think she will give her best. Because the terminals, the body is tired. Now, you want her to give you the best, then reduce her level of stress. That's why I like this part of the world, whereby even when you are renting a house, most of the things you need as a woman in the kitchen is there. There's microwave, there's fridge, there's washing machine for your clothes, there's washing machine for your dishes. You know, they try as much as possible to reduce, because they cherish women a lot. They cherish people a lot. So even your landlord, you put those things in place. It is, most of the time, it is, how would I say, is a standard that every house owner must put in place for their tenants. So how much more your wife? So if you want your wife to give you the best and you want her to also experience orgasm, reduce her level of stress. How can you do this? By getting her machineries or machines. What are machineries? Machineries are people that can help her to do some of the things that make her tired. Get her a house help. It is not a must that your house help should live with you. If it's going to become an issue, you can get people that will come in the morning and close when your wife is back from work. But by then, they would have done everything that she needs to do. Most of the things that will make her tired, those people, those machineries would have done those things. Or you get a machine that will do most of the things that worn her out. Like, she needs to wash, you have 4 in your family, and she needs to wash your clothes. Out of all those clothes, 30%, 40%, 50% of those things, of those clothes are jeans that will take so much energy. What do you need to do? You need to get a washing machine to do most of these things. You know, get a microwave, get an electric blender. She doesn't need to be using, pestle, or what do we call it, to blend pepper. Even if you use that hand to blend pepper and she use that hand to come and carry your penis later on, you will still complain. You understand? Get our machineries, get our help, and even offer to be a help. Let us get away from the era of tradition that a woman should be the one to wash plates, a woman should be the one to cook. Help her. Sometimes you want her to be at her best, and you don't have what it takes for now to get her machines, or you don't want to bring in a machinery. Then help. Your wife is cooking, help her to wash plates. That doesn't make you less of a man. In fact, it makes it romantic. I can bet it with you. when your wife is cooking and you are washing plates, she's getting wet because she's appreciating you. You know, some people, we have what we call love languages. Some people, their love language, so for some women, is act of service. The things that you do make them fall in love with you, and as they are falling in love, they are sexually getting ready for you. You understand? So I've said this: you want her to be the best at the bed, but it's already worn out from office and house course. Help her out with some of those things. You can help her to sweep. You can help her to, help her to cook sometimes. There's nothing bad. You say, okay, this weekend, I want to be the one to cook. And you give her breakfast in bed. You too, give her breakfast in bed and ask for sex later on. Even if she doesn't want to give you, she will give it to you because of that act. Those are the little things that make our sexual performances spiced up. And I think somebody's learning. Now, by doing this, she's also strong enough to handle you in bed, because the energy that would have been wasted in the kitchen, wasted in the bedroom, washing, she's going to transfer that energy to you. Instead of carrying clothes, you are the one that she will carry you, hang you on the wall, hang you on the window, throw you from left to right. You'll be surprised that, wow, so my wife can do this. Now, number one, the next one is encourage the use of lubricant during sex to avoid friction and pain during lovemaking. Why some women will not experience orgasm in marriage is too much of friction. And friction will end up causing you pain. It can even result to wear and tear. And once you start having too much of pain, sex can be a little mixture of little pain and pleasure, but not a pain that takes over the whole thing. So we need to use lubricant sometimes, because it is not every time. The best form of lubricant is the one that God naturally gives to a woman. So we be able to practice to go into foreplay very well. Your wife will be wet, but not all times. Not even because she has issues. Environmental factor can even be responsible for why she's not wet. So you need to look for a way to get her wet by using lubricant. But just that we usually advise that people should use water-based lubricants. Those ones are very good and they are less harmful to the body. Don't go ahead and use all these chemicalized these lubricants that are made of chemical, because they can end up causing more harm than good. But I'm not doing advert, but one of the ones that common is you can use I think, what do they call it? I'm trying to remember this name. I think something gel, something like that. If I remember at the end of this teaching, I will let us know. So try to use lubricant. Even the man too can use it. The woman applies it inside her vagina, and the man also rubs it, so that it can make the swimming in and out very, very easy, and it makes it good for everyone. Start thinking good of the man and think less of his shortcomings. This is for the woman. You want to enjoy sex, you want to reach orgasm. One of the reasons you don't enjoy sex or you don't get orgasm is that you have occupied your mind with many of the odds, many of the disappointments, many of the things that your husband has done wrong. In marriage, we will continue to offend ourselves. That doesn't mean that we should now continue to encourage that kind of lifestyle. No. But because we are human, when we hurt ourselves, let us leave room for forgiveness. And once you have forgiven your partner, your husband, your wife, let it go at that moment. Even if it is difficult for you to forget, at the point of making love, just forget about any other thing. Let your priority be the enjoyment. Oh, I want to enjoy the sex. I want to reach orgasm today. I want to make this man happy today. I want to make this woman happy today. Because if you keep all the wrong things he has done in your heart, oh my God, those are the things that will take part, and it will distract your mind. We said sexual enjoyment starts from the mind. If your mind is preoccupied with those thoughts, What will your body do? Your body will now trigger defense mechanism. It will not ejaculate, it will not release wetness. It will try to shut your vagina, just to make sure that, because you are now seeing an enemy, it now looks as if somebody is trying to rape you, or somebody you don't like is trying to sleep with you. So instead, just think about his good words. No matter how bad he may be, at least he's not an animal. He would have done a few things, even if the good things are just 20% or 30%. Just remember those little ones, those 30% or 20%, his good words, his good acts, the gift he bought for you, how he wooed you, those words he used, the last time he made love to you and you really enjoyed it. You know, even while he's making love to you, call his name, tell him how much you love him in that act. You know, before you know it, even if you are angry, if you are replacing the odds with the good things he has done by calling his name, how much you love him, before you know it, you start connecting gradually. Then, for the man, what is your responsibility? Do good to give her reasons to think. That is, I just said women should what? Think good about what their husbands have done. But if you have not done any good, if you are always ordering your wife, that is what she will continue to think about. She would have nothing good to think about you. So you want her to be wet for you to enjoy, so that your movement into Jerusalem will be without accident. You know, so that you can go in peace and come back in peace. Then give her reasons to think good about you. Hurt her less. Don't abuse her. Appreciate her. Appreciate her body. Even if her body shape has changed because she just gave birth, let her know that she's still the best. Let her know that she's still the best. That anybody taller than her is too tall. Anybody shorter than her is too short. Anybody lighter than her is an albino. Anybody that is not like an albino like her does not have the good. You know, just bring the best of anything that is on her body or is around her. Good words, good acts, good gifts, and be a good man. Good touch. Touches make women appreciated. They make them know that you still, women are connected to what they feel, how you feel about them. That is why whatever you tell them, how they are and how they look, make them, it goes extra mile for them. It goes a long way for them. Your wife is in the kitchen and you pass beside her, and you did not even appreciate her, that she looks good. Even if you're not saying anything, just tap her bum bum. See your big bum bum is too. What are you chopping? See your bum bum is just full of, fat. And thank you. This is what I like when bum bum is big. And if your wife bum bum is not big, let her know that, wow, I like it as portable as it is. I can really handle it. It has a way of preparing that woman. And if you say it, let me tell you, she will not forget. Even if she doesn't respond at that point, she will continue to remember what you have said. Do you understand? So, give her good reasons. Apart from those words, be a good man. Don't cheat on her. Don't beat her. Don't deprive her of her rights. Love her. Help her. Then, as a woman, discover your erogenous zones and let your man know. Always refer him to those places by telling him or taking his hands, mouth there. These places will help you get close to your orgasm in time. Now, I mentioned something like this when I was counseling the other woman that had issue with circumcision. Vagina is not the only place that will excite you as a woman. It's just one of those places. One of those places. There are some women that even have other parts of the body that excite them more than vagina. We have some women that even the only place that excites them in the vagina is the G-spot. There are some women that they do not even have sexual feelings in their vagina. So it varies, just that the percentage is higher towards the vagina, clitoris. But look for other places. Why do you need to look for other places? Number one, it eliminates boredom. If every time all your husband does is and climb on you, slides in, slides out, that's the end. it becomes a routine. It becomes predictable. It becomes boring. But if you have every other place that you have discovered that okay, today it just comes in and slides in and slides out and goes away, but tomorrow when it comes, it sucks your breast, plays with your breast, fondles your breast, if it does this before he now eventually finishes it on, let's say, penetration, it has changed the progression, the pattern, and you too will feel different about it, and it won't be boring because the pattern is different from that of today. You understand? But for this situation, if you feel that the height of your excitement is not even in the vagina, in the clitoris, discover other places, and your husband can also help you. But how can he help you? Take his hand to those places during lovemaking, during romance. That's why romance is very, very important. We cannot overestimate it. You understand? We cannot underestimate it. It has a very great influence on our lovemaking. Discover those places. Is it your breast? Is it your nipple? Is it the back of your neck? Some people it's even the palm of their hand. Some people it's the back of their hand. Some people it's their feet. Some people it's their thighs. Some people it's their bum. Some people it's their back. Some people it's in their scalp, in the middle of their head. You need to discover. And when you discover these places, if your husband is always interested in going in, say, my Oga, come back here. You want to pass one way? No. Last man will catch you. Come here. Take his hand. Use your hand to take his hand to where you want him to be. If it is his breast, is your nipple. Use your hand to bring his head to that place. Oh yeah, Oga, are you not hungry? When last did you drink milk? Oh yeah, suck. You understand? It can even sound funny, but both of you are taking time to prepare yourself, and you are also discovering other places that can make you prepare for orgasm. Some people can reach orgasm by just sucking their breast, if their husband can handle it properly. God makes all this part of the body because he knows. That's why God made the women differently, because these parts are all instruments, parts, or regions to make a woman available for sex and to enjoy sex. Now, for a man, what should you do? She may not know all her erogenous zone. I said the other time that a woman should discover, but in a situation whereby a woman does not know, you as a man, as the husband, take note of these places. Take note of the places she gives notable body adjustment. When you are kissing, maybe you are kissing every part of her body, you are touching every other part of her body, and there's a place she gives you a special sound like, you know that, wow, something has happened. Something different has happened to this woman. There's a place I touched just now that is different from every other place I used to touch. You understand? So when you discover that place, it means that you may need to pay more attention. Or maybe when you are touching a particular place, you got to a particular part of her body, and she adjusts her body somehow. It means that place tickles her more, or that place gives her a kind of feeling that is sweet, but is too much for her to enjoy at that particular moment. So it has given you a hint that, that point is a strong point for her. Do you understand? So when you discover these places, she may not even know because she's carried away. She's no longer in this planet. But you now need to put that one in your own diary. You put that place in your own diary, so that each time you come to make love to her, even before you penetrate, pay more attention to those places. Pay more attention to those places. And for the man, example of those places can include her earlobe, that is the back of her hair, the back of her neck, her butt, her bumps, her lower back, her scalp, that's middle of her head, even some women, armpit. Yeah. So now, if you know that your armpit is the place where you really feel so much of pleasure, then you need to take care of the place. Shave very well, put oil on very well, so that your husband can use his hand, whatever, to just, to play justice to those places. Making love and enjoying it is very connected, very, very connected to cleanliness. You understand? So it can be our inner wrist, our inner nail, our finger. Some people, when you just hold their finger and they're just rubbing it, especially the inside part, they feel a lot of sensation. This means our hot spots are beyond nipples or common places with traditional focus. So it's not only nipple, is not only vagina, it's not only clitoris. No, there are a lot of places where women or even men have feelings. For example, there are many men that have they feel a very high sensation in their nipples too. So when you discover this about your husband, you capitalize on those things if those are the places that give him extra pleasure. And as you are doing these things, it's preparing the main organ to be ready for penetration. And as the man, again, you can now see that the man, you have much work to do. If a woman will enter orgasm, you have plenty work to do. Some women have specially dedicated erogenous zones, and these zones can change in some women per time. In this case, doing the previous best may be the worst next time. For example, that means that you don't need to be stereotyped because you sucked her nipple yesterday and that gave her the height of her pleasure. Does not mean that it is that same nipple that you will need to suck tomorrow. No. It means that some people, some women, their erogenous zone change from time to time. From time to time. So you need to discover which place your woman is enjoying, feeling, touch per time. So you need to explore many parts at a time or per time, and to know which one is working for her at that exact moment. Some women can reach orgasm through these zones without penetration. So don't underestimate the power of pleasure of full body massage and arousal. So that's why you also need to learn how to massage your wife. Sometimes your wife can reach, or a woman can get to orgasm without even penetration. Yeah, the next is for the man. In shorter word, foreplay, patience, and creativity are very instrumental for her. So you don't if you want your wife to be satisfied, you want to satisfy your wife, don't be in a rush. Don't be among those that will just put down their trouser and they want to slide in. No. Your woman doesn't need that. You need to be patient, do foreplay, be creative. That creativity is part of the thing that will make you discover that, what style should I do today? What style will I do tomorrow? Where should I touch today? Where should I touch tomorrow? Now, using the vagina, we want to talk about how you can now use the vagina to reach orgasm as a man, as a woman. Now, you can do this by giving special stimulation to the tip or the G-spot. To the tip or the G-spot. Now, this should give you an idea that enjoying sex is not about the size, the length of a penis. If your husband is endowed, because we're talking to the women now, to the wife, glory be to God if you like it. But that is not the height of sexual enjoyment. It's not about the length, but the usage. And that's why a man that doesn't have 6 inches penis, don't go and make it worse for yourself just because you want to have a long. Be contented with what you have. It's about the application. Don't go and start putting yourself in trouble. Now, when it comes to stimulating the vagina, it is either the tip, or the G-spot. What is the G-spot? It is just like 2 to 3 inches away from the vagina at the top. If your wife is sleeping and facing up as if you want to have sex in missionary, and you put in your finger, 2 and 3 inches away to the top is where the G-spot is located. So this could be achieved via penis or finger. Here, we talked about pleasure that comes from penetrative play, but there's a great deal or overlap between the vaginal orgasm and clitoral orgasm, as they are connected by a number of nerve pathways and muscular structure. I'm still going to explain in details. Now, if you're talking about using the penis, we're talking about the vaginal stimulation now. Now, let's talk about using the penis. Instead of using the usual style of sliding in and out motion, as in you go in and you go out during penetration, you can swirl the penis around your penis head around the opening of the vagina, and this with teaser. That is, sometimes you may not just want to slide in. A man who finds out, who thinks these things are difficult, is an impatient man. Or let me say, is a man that may be selfish. I'm sorry if that hurts. But if you really want to satisfy your woman, these are the things you can do. Instead of just sliding in, going in like that, you can just take the penis and use it to just tease the vaginal entrance. It gives that woman, hunger. Like, come in, come in, come in, come in. But you're not coming in. She hungers for more. And it is that hunger for more that she needs that will make her get there. Because you are teasing her, like, yeah, sweet, take. You just want to put it in her mouth. She tastes it, you take it out again. She observes the sweetness, but she wants to have it in full. So she craves for it. The craving becomes so much. So eventually, after some minute, like after 1 minute, 2 minutes, you eventually give it to her. She will swallow it. Just like sweet I was talking about. When you eventually throw the sweet in her mouth, mistakenly itself, she can swallow the sweet. She can break the sweet with her teeth instead of licking it. That is how it looks, because she's been yearning for it. That is how swining the penis around the entrance of the vagina, that is how it works. Then gradually increase the depth as you spiral to the very back, pressing into the side as they swell with pleasure. So eventually, when you now go in, you be increasing the depth as you go deep. You don't go deep immediately, but you keep going deep a little by little. And why? Because if you are a man who has a very long penis, there's tendency that when you go in fully, you will even go beyond the G-spot, because the G-spot is just a little inches away from the entrance of the vagina. So if you are going in small and coming out, and you're going in a bit deeper, you have tendencies of hitting the G-spot, which will give her a serious pleasure, a very high pleasure. And another method is to alternate between shallow and slow, gentle thrust and deep. Add pumping, as the outer part of the canal tends to be sensitive to light touch, whereas the deeper zones is often more reactive to pressure. So you are giving her two different kind of feeling. When you come out, you are tickling the outside wall of the penis, of the vagina. And when you go deep inside, you are stimulating the deeper part. So you are giving her two in one. You go in, you come out. You give her fast. At the point you slow down again. You give her slow. And for a man, it's even good for you, because if you are alternating between this variation, it will help you not to also ejaculate too quickly. We talked about refractory period the other time. When you're under the pressure of ejaculating and you reduce a little, or you even stop totally, it sends a form of signal back to the penis. Return the sperm back to where it's coming from, so that you can even have more time to enjoy your wife. Now, sometimes she may feel like she can't take it. I'm not talking about pain this time, but the arousal, the feeling is just too much, too sensitive for her. But be sure to know maybe it's been painful, especially when you are doing it between going deep, going fast. Sometimes it can be painful for her, but sometimes the pain is what she needs. But the way she will respond to you, the way she gets closer to you, will let you know if she's feeling pain or she's enjoying it. Let's say as you are doing it faster, she's even pulling you closer. That's to let you know that she wants it more like that. But if she's trying to push you further from her, it means that it's painful and you may need to slow down, because sometimes when you think you are going deeper and you are going faster, you are even holding her and you are disconnecting her from enjoying it. So you need to be very observant when you are making love to your wife. Using the hand, we are still talking about the vagina. This is very important and helpful to stimulate the G-spot. See, around the vagina, the two places that are the most sensitive for a woman are: number one, the clitoris; number two, the G-spot. But most of the time, we escape the G-spot because, number one, of the positions we use. That's why some men that God bless them with a bit curved penis, they have tendency of hitting the G-spot because the penis is curved towards the G-spot, depending on the kind of sexual position and they are using and the direction the man's penis is curved to. So for a man, for example, that is straight and long, you have tendency of only hitting the G-spot when you are going in for the first time. And because you are deep into that place, even when you are thrusting in and out, the cap of the penis will not get to the G-spot because it's far inside. That was why I told her the other time that try to do a lot of shallow, just alternate between shallow and deep, fast and slow. But this time around, the hand will help you to locate the G-spot, which is one of the places that a woman enjoys penetration at its peak. So remember that because you are using your fingers, you need your fingers to be clean, and you need to put lubricant on your hands, on your fingers, and you may even need to shave to cut down your nails so that you won't go and hurt her while you're trying to pleasure her with your finger. So you may need to have, especially that particular finger or the fingers you want to use, make sure you cut those fingers. They are trimmed and they are clean so that you will not introduce bacteria into our body, and so that you clean up, and so that there will be no much of friction. You can apply lubricants on your hands. And what are you going to do? Let us look at it on the next slide. Okay, for the woman, the best person to help you discover your G-spot is your husband. He slides his middle finger into your vagina few inches away and he slides it back. That is, he takes his hand in. Because my video is lagging, I would have really want to show you, but maybe when I get to that point where I want to demonstrate it through a picture, I will use my hand to show you. So he slides his hand just few inches away and he slides it back by doing come here sign. You know when you're telling somebody to come here, hey, come here. You know the way you do your hand with those two fingers or that one finger, that is exactly what you are doing. Just few inches into the vagina. And as a woman, you are lying upside down as if you are facing the ceiling, like you want to do missionary. Can you see this picture now? The man is using one finger. So as a man, this is the way you do your finger. Just ensure your nails are cut, your fingers are clean, and you apply lubricant. You put your hand, you know the way you have bent your hand, that finger cannot even go too far, because the back, you see from the bent part of the finger back to your whole hand is about 2 inches or thereabout. So even when you put your hand like that and you're coming in and coming out, you will be hitting the G spot. And it is good for women that find it difficult to get wet or reach orgasm. And with that demonstration, let me just show you the image. Now, this is the finger. So while you are in, you are just going in and out, in and out. You're not going too far to the top while your wife is sleeping and facing up. So you yourself will even feel a particular spot in the vagina that is having a little feeling in terms of texture from every other part in the vagina. That is the G spot. And you will see that there's a particular spot that each time you get there, the woman reacts differently. She mourns differently. She moves her body in a way, that is to show to you that she is enjoying it at that point. Let me quickly take my coffee. Thank you. Now, to the next slide. For those who cannot reach orgasm by penetration, that is, if your wife finds it difficult to reach orgasm whenever you go into her with your penis, this way, using that style, especially people that maybe they've been circumcised, that technique of using the finger to locate the G-spot can help. One of the things that can really make a woman to reach orgasm is the clitoris, and that's the clitoris that has been chopped off most of the time during circumcision. So using that hand techniques can actually help. The clitoris gives the woman sensation, and that's what has been cut off. And those kind of women, a man needs to do extra to make that woman reach orgasm, to make her even enjoy sex, not to even talk of reaching orgasm. But working on the G-spot is a good alternative. So like the woman I was counseling initially, let's try this. You can try this with your husband. Let him locate your G-spot so that you can also be sexually alive and ready for his penetration. This is even good for a woman that has issue with wetness. It is an alternative stimulation for women who have been circumcised. This I've said. And this is because the clitoris should be the major stimulation and sensation equipment, which has been cut off, repeating the same thing. For these women, discovering the G-spot and stimulating it can help out. Such women may have issues feeling sensation or getting wet. They find it hard to even self-lubricate, which is the wetness. The thrusting in and out of the penis create a lot of friction, leading to pain. Such wives engage in sex in endurance. That's what I was saying the other time. So women like that, when the husband is in and out, is inside of them, all they feel throughout the sexual process is pain. So using the exercise can really help you. So summary for couples with circumcised wife: if you have a wife that is circumcised, as a man, or couples, what do you need to do? Think less of your issue. That was why I said initially when I was talking to the other woman that it's about the mind. Put the problem behind you. Be focused that I want to enjoy sex. Look forward to a better sex without end. Discover other parts that make you feel good. Engagement in foreplay. Spice your sex environment. Like when you want to have sex now, make your different look different. That is one of the things that talk to the brain that will make you to enjoy sex. When you have a different environment, like you can put in romance lights, all those lights of multicolor. You can put in scent candles, that candle that you just put by your side and will be giving you nice aroma. You can play music the same way that I'm teaching right now, and I'm playing a nice solemn piano in the background. You can put one beside you. We call them instrumental for sex. They can trigger your body to be in the mood. You understand? If you have issues with getting wet, these are the things that can also put you in the mood. You can experience a total location. If you feel like because you've been having sex in the same place, you can change the location even in the same house. You can stop having sex. You want to have sex today and you want to have a different experience. You can leave the bedroom and go into the visitor's room. If your children are not at home, you can do it in the sitting room. If you have a private balcony that nobody can see, you can do it in your balcony. You can do it in the bedroom. You can do it in the kitchen. You know what this does? It sends a signal to the brain that it is a different experience, and the brain makes you it prepares your body. against it prepares your body for it. And sometimes you may even need to have a total location change. Maybe you want to even go and have sex in the guest house. You just want to be alone with your partner. That's why I remember the last hot seat we had, the couple that we interviewed, when we were able to note their challenge, we had to make provision that, okay, we want you guys to go and lodge in an hotel and make love there, have a different experience, and let us know how it's going to be. That is one of the things we do once in a while to encourage couples to improve their love life. So those are the things that can also do to spice up. And this is another one that you can use your two finger to what? To stimulate the clitoris and the G-spot. The other time when I was showing us the picture of the single finger, that one was meant to stimulate only the clitoris. But if you have a woman whose clitoris is still intact, you can use this picture, this model, to give her double pleasure. How? When you put the two fingers in, as you are going in and out, the back of your palm, this place, will be hitting the clitoris. So as you are stimulating the G-spot with this place, you are using this place to hit or rub our clitoris like this. So let's say this is the clitoris. As I'm using this place to stimulate the G-spot, I'm using this place to stimulate. You see that the back of the hand is hitting my hand G-spot. It's not G-spot in Jesus' name, but I'm just giving you a practical illustration that you can understand. So you can even be using it to rub the clitoris as you are going inside. So it makes it easier for the woman to reach orgasm, because she's having double stimulation in one of the two highest sensitive parts of her body. That is what this image is telling us. I hope we are understanding. You can see the image. It's written, palm moves up and down vertically and with middle fingers inside our vagina, moving in a come here motion. And I added, the back of your palm now keeps rubbing or hitting our clitoris. If you have not offended her, if she's not distracted, and everything being equal, she's supposed to reach orgasm in another 5 minutes or less. This is another way you can do it to help you stimulate both the clitoris and the G-spot at the same time. The two middle fingers stimulate the G-spot while the palm rubs against and stimulates the clitoris, just the way it is. So if I want to demonstrate this for you, these are the two fingers. This and this are the ones that are going into the vagina, and this rubs against our G-spot. Or this can also go depending on variation. The other one picture I showed you previously, this goes in, but it has to be like this, but in this situation it's like this, and this is meant for the clitoris, and you can even use one of them while this works on the clitoris and this one's for the G-spot. These are one of the ways a woman can easily locate or reach orgasm when making love to her husband. Now we're almost done. Now another form of stimulation that can make a woman um, experience orgasm is clitoral orgasm. So while the straight finger locates the inner wall of the G-spot, the bent finger rubs the outer clit, giving double irresistible pleasure. That's just the things I've explained. We talked about the vagina, using the hand, using the penis. Now we're talking about clitoris, and we are talking about how to even stimulate both the clitoris and the vagina at the same time. It helps women a lot, and you as a man, you are happy because you are not selfish, because you're able to prove that you are a man and your woman is wet. The natural wetness of your man increase your own level of satisfaction too. So stimulating the clitoris via penetrative sex. Man, during copulation, use your penis to slide in missionary style, but only halfway. Now, if you want to stimulate the clitoris, but with your penis, as the man, what you need to do is, in missionary, while the woman is lying down facing up, you slide in, but you don't go in too much. So while you are doing that, the woman will round her hips. That's what you as a woman will do now. Round your hip backward to angle the shaft in an upward position, opposite zone. This way, and this is another way for a woman to reach orgasm. How do we mean? I think the what I wrote there may not be explanatory enough unless I tell you. Well, because I'm sitting, I won't really be able to explain. If the woman is sitting, lying down, you as the man, you're on top and you slide in a bit. What you need to do as a woman is raise up your hip. Like this is your body. You now raise up your hip. I'm looking for something I can use here as a demonstration. Okay, fine. This is the woman. You are lying down. Your husband is lying on you. Now, this is the middle part of your body. This is where the man is going in. What you just need to do is raise this place up. I don't know if you see the picture. This is your head. This is your head. And this is your leg. This is the middle part of your body. Raise it up. So it will now look as if you are using your back and your leg to form a balance, to have a balance. So while you raise this up, what happens? Your pubic region, your hips, especially that place where you have hair, is going to rub against your husband's pubic area. So where your man is sliding in, is going to be using his pubic region, especially that his pubic hair or that rough part, to stimulate your clitoris as it's going in and out. That's why we said the man should not go in too much, because if he goes in too much, it's going to change the way he goes in. Because the man is not, we don't want the man to go in like this. We want the man to slide in and rub his pubic region against yours. So now, because he has not gone in too much, it's just a few inches into your vagina. As it goes in and goes out, the cap of his penis is touching your G-spot, one. And as it's rubbing, that part of his body is also rubbing against your clitoris, giving you double stimulation. I think somebody understands that illustration now. Now, with that, it increases the chance of the woman to reach orgasm. So these are some of the things we've not been doing in marriage that is making it look as if our wives are not really reaching orgasm in marriage. And many women are very sad. So for the woman to reach orgasm during penetration in missionary, you can also join your legs together and lay them straight in bed. Don't raise any leg or up or bend any. Push your buttock up, your buttocks area up in the way that your pubic hairy area touches this. Now, it's just like the same thing I just explained. Now, the difference between this and the other one is that you are joining your legs together. Now, this is what means. I'm still using this as an example. This is you. This is your head. This is your head. This is your leg. Now, instead of opening your leg like this, join your legs together as if let's say you are standing and I said attention. You know the way your legs join together. You join your legs together. So now, in this situation, your husband will lie on you the same way. He too will join his legs together. So it will be as if you are in head for head, middle for middle, leg for leg. Now, while you are joining your legs together, raise your hip up. Now, why we don't want you to open your legs? Because when you open your leg, it creates a little barrier between your hips for the man to come in. But when you close your legs, number one, it brings the clitoris up. So now, to help the man get closer, you also raise your hips up again. That is where you have your pubic hair. So now, the man is inside. But because of the way he's lying on you and the way you are joining your leg, the man will not be coming up and down. No. It will be going up, it will be going front and back like this. Because both of you are like this now. Yeah. Both of you are like this. So it will be rubbing like this. And as he's doing that, his pubic area, especially the hair, is rubbing against you. And the main part of the body, of your body that is being rubbed, is your clitoris. And most of the time, the advantage of this is that it enables the man and the woman to reach orgasm at the same time. As I'm planning to round up, you can even put a pillow under your buttocks to raise it, or use a sex pillow with a movement, with its movement. You know, we talked about raising your body up, and it may not be convenient for many women to just raise up because you are not balanced. You are using your back and your leg to, you know, especially for the first option. So we can use what we call sex pillow. This is how a sex pillow looks. So sex pillow is something you can order from Amazon, order from Jumia. When we were in Nigeria, we got this from Jumia and it was very cheap. I think it was less than 1,000 naira then. What this helps you to do is that it's better than normal pillow. Number one, your pillow can easily go inside when you sit on it. It will not give you the angle you want. This, you inflate it with air. When you buy it, you just open it. There's a valve there. You just put it in your mouth and you blow it with your mouth, and it's so you can see that the first picture, when the woman is on the man, she's bent, but it gives the man the ability to fold the woman. Even when the woman is she's facing down, it enables the buttock, the vagina, to show up to that man. So it gives both of them access. Even this pillow is good for people who are trying to conceive. Maybe you usually have problem with whenever your husband ejaculates inside of you, everything will come out. With this pillow, it will give you a form of angle, like a deceleration. Your hip is at the top, your head is down, so that it will give the sperm an angle of flow downward. That is one of the things that this pillow can do. Just look for sex pillow. It's very cheap, and you know, it spices up your sex life with your partner. This orgasm can take place just before the cervix too. This is where men with long penis, have advantage. The reason for explaining all this is to know why you never experience any, or why you haven't been able to take your wife there. Maybe because as a wife you've never had an orgasm, or maybe you've not been able to take your wife there as the man. Penetrative sex via entry style rider are good options for really getting you there. If you want to use the rear entry is what people call doggy. It's another way a woman can easily get to orgasm. And the orgasm that takes place just before the cervix, not in the cervix, no, is why we are saying that why we call it close to the cervix is because it does not take place in the G-spot. It has gone further. Now this is where men with a very long penis have the advantage. That's why some women say, I love it when it's long, when it's even like it's almost in my throat. You know, there's nothing like that in the throat, but you know, because it is getting to the inner part of the vagina where you feel more aroused. and we have a lot of women that also have this. So, but one of the positions that can really help you to enjoy this is when you go into the back. Through the back, because when you go into the back, it makes the cap of the penis to be at that same side where your G spot is, though far away from the G spot. But each time your penis is coming back, there's tendency that the head of the penis may even be hitting the G spot at the back. So, but caution is needed here, especially a man with length endowment, because this is not the time to now be pumping hard. You can wound that woman before you know it, because you are endowed. You understand? So you need to be very careful. We have about 2-3 slides more to go. This orgasm we've taken this already, so 2 more slides to go. Discover many more things. Be creative, be considerate. Creativity is one of the reasons why you will enjoy sex. I have a teaching that I created for the couples in Sex Uncovered. I call them sex boredom. Maybe one of these days I will do the video teaching too. Sex boredom is the boredom that comes into our bedroom when we do things same way, you have to be creative. I don't want to talk much about that because it's a different topic on its own. But be creative so that you can bring new inventions to your marital bed. Be considerate. This is most importantly for our men. Men, you will always reach orgasm when you ejaculate. But our women, they need more attention. Start saying it from today that if your wife does not reach orgasm, you have not done well. Did you hear me? If you've not been able to take your wife to orgasm, it means you have not done your job well. So when you are going to make love to your wife, make your own enjoyment secondary, because even you will enjoy yourself. The primary thing should be making your wife enjoy the sex. In fact, ensuring that your wife will reach orgasm. Yes, it may not be a first time thing. If you want to start practicing all these things we're talking about, especially those things I mentioned towards the end of this presentation, but gradually, even your wife, even if she doesn't reach orgasm, she will know that you are making attempts. And if both of you can work together, discover the places, as I said, the styles, using your finger, getting the sex pillow, all those things, before you know it, you will get there. But it takes a man that is considerate, that knows that makes the sexual enjoyment of his wife his responsibility to get the woman there. So you need to be considerate. Sex is not only for men's enjoyment. God made sex to be enjoyed by both the husband and the wife. If each person is more concerned about the sexual fulfillment of his or her spouse, we will all be sexually happy. If I want to have sex now, and I'm more concerned about my wife's satisfaction, and my wife is also concerned about my own satisfaction, definitely we'll both be happy. So that is the way it works. Be more concerned about your wife's happiness as the man. Let it be in your dictionary, in your diary now, that each time you want to make love, you want your wife to reach orgasm first before you even reach there. Because most of the time, when you reach orgasm as a man, the interest may leave you, because there's a stress hormone that is being released into your body that makes you feel weak. You just want to be like sleeping. You don't even feel like having sex again, and you won't want to give extra effort. That's why it's even more important to prioritize the orgasm of your wife first. And in fact, once you realize that your wife is about to reach orgasm, you can now start, there's a way you can make your penis, the sensitive part of your penis, to touch the sensitive part of the vagina. And before you know it, both of you will reach orgasm together, and you will thank yourselves. You will appreciate yourselves. So with this, I've been able to pass this message across to you about how to achieve a female orgasm in marriage. And we have seen that it is the duty of both the man and the woman. But because I know that most women want to enjoy sex, who want to have sex, want to enjoy it, the main challenge is in the men who are not ready to go extra mile, to be patient enough to make their wife reach the level of orgasm. Or for women who may have some medical challenge, and they are very difficult to stimulate. The man needs to be patient. You need to discover other parts of her body. You just don't need to sleep on her, penetrate and come out. No, play with her. Even while you are on top of her, talk to her, kiss her, rub other part of her, over part of her body, rub her hair. Even while you're on top of her, tell her that her hair is beautiful. In fact, it is very difficult to lie when you are in that mood. So that is when the sincerity of your heart can really be said. Because you are really enjoying her, tell her that she's beautiful. Touch her nose, touch her mouth, kiss her, peck her. We play with her breast if that is what she loves. We've said it that you need to discover all the erogenous parts of her body. Some women, you need to combine those parts, not only one, before they can reach there. And before you know it, doing these things will even make our love making longer. It will not be shoki lobeoge, like 1 minute thing, because you have taken time to observe yourself, to pleasure yourselves before penetration. When you've already done all things, both of you will now come and reach the climax by ejaculation. And by doing this, I know your love life will change. And I want to appreciate everyone that has participated in this live session. We have a group called Sex Uncovered for Mr&Mrs. We have it on Telegram, we have it on Facebook, we have it on WhatsApp. But truth be told, the WhatsApp is the most engaging. That is where we even do all our games, That's where people can really ask questions. So even if you're in other channels, thank God that WhatsApp has increased the limit of participants. You can join the WhatsApp group. Yes, you can join the WhatsApp group because we discuss more there. Before you see anything on Telegram or on Facebook, it's after a while, after we've discussed those things on WhatsApp. So if you want to join the WhatsApp group, we are using our Nigeria number to host our regenrelationship WhatsApp channel. So you will see the number scrolling on screen. That's my name, my wife's name. You can search for her on Facebook or Instagram. My name just passed, Damilaya McDavid, and you can search for us on Instagram, our Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube channel. You just use the name at regenrelationship. But if you want to get in touch with us, maybe you have a question, you have a challenge, there's something you want to discuss, chat us through our Facebook, our YouTube, our WhatsApp. Yeah. Even when you go to our Instagram, our Facebook, our YouTube, you will see a link where you can chat us directly. But the phone number is +234 80 34 90 42 82. Again, 080 34 90 42 82. So if you are chatting outside Nigeria, you can use the country code +234 before chatting us. Send us a WhatsApp message, or you can send us a mail on info@regenrelationship.org. We have our website where we have a lot of resources. Every week we release 2 resources. My wife released for relationship and marriage on Facebook, Instagram. Then that's every Wednesday. We call it relationship tips. And on every weekend we release videos, either live like this or most of the time recorded versions that we post on this channel. Please tell somebody about regenrelationship, like, subscribe, hit notification bell so that each time we bring up new topics, new videos, you can know. And if you have friends that are married, that are having challenge in their marriage sexually, introduce them to Sex Uncovered. When you chat us and we can confirm that you are married, we will give you the link, because we don't give it out generally. We want to be sure that we are admitting married people. Thank you very much for this session, and you can share this video. Once I stop this recording, you can copy the link and send it to any of your married friends that are having issues with this teaching. See you next time, next weekend, next Wednesday, and see you all in Sex Uncovered group if you are a member of our group. Thank you very much, and on behalf of my wife, we say Do have a lovely marriage. Bye bye.